Hello everyone and welcome to round 8 at Belgium with the Tier 2 boys once again. Joining me is Asher and Sir SSJ Assassin. Well, quite an interesting track we have on our hand. The longest track on this calendar as well, 7 kilometers long. The only track that's actually allowed to exceed the 305-kilometer limit set by the FIA. Actually 300-kilometer limit or whatever it may be set by the FIA for a maximum race distance. Well, because obviously it is quite a historic track, and let's just hope that they keep it on the calendar in the future in real life F1. However, let's not fear about it now because we do have Belgium right in front of us. Ashray, thoughts?
Oh yes, this is genuinely one of my favorite tracks of in the whole world. Obviously, Nürburgring's up there, but this game doesn't have Nürburgring. Anyway, it's a really fun track because it's a track of everything. You have heavy braking, you have fast corners, and you have the legendary Eau Rouge, and even Puhon is such a good corner. But this
Absolutely.
this track, the only thing that is there for F1 is that it makes the overtaking slightly bland as the camel straight is so long. You have DRS for such a long length. It makes overtaking really easy, but once in a while in sim racing, you might see some daring dive bombs into turn 1 or even maybe a side by side in Eau Rouge. So let's hope we can see a bit of that without the carnage.
Absolutely. Carnage, well, we did see the ACC races, which are on Friday 9 p.m. By the way, you do want to tune in for that. But yeah, first round was on Spa. That was a very interesting race. Well, not for us, Ashray, but it was for other people.
Hmm.
However, let's quickly move on to our track map, shall we? All right, then 7 kilometers long, 19 turns. We have two DRS zones, one on the main straight, one on the absolutely famous Camel Straight. Very, very high elevation changes here. Quite a lot of overtaking opportunities as well. All right then, let's quickly move on to a very, very quick hot lap videos.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome on board a lap of the Spa International Circuit here in Belgium, one of the most beloved circuits in motorsporting history. Into turn 1, our source, also known as, want to be braking just before the 100-meter board, short shifting on the exit to get a good one as you coming up to a flat out section, one of many on this circuit. So yeah, make sure you get a good one there. Into Eau Rouge, just a kink in these modern day F1 cars. Make sure your steering is as minimal as possible to not scrub any speed of the momentum you may have gained from the good exit. Watch out for the DRS boards on the either side of the track. Into Lacombe, braking just before the 50-meter board. Attack these curves, but again, be gingerly over them as the ground effect nature of this car can sort of unsettle the entire trajectory, trying to take through those corners. Into Bruxelles, trailing all the way to the apex there and short shifting on the exit to get a good one. Into No Name, just to dab on the brakes, and just keep in mind not to extend on the right, very easy to do so there. Into Puon, another dab on the brakes, and yeah, again, keep in mind your minimum speed has to be as high as you can keep it, otherwise you will lose a lot of time. Into Piff Paff, sacrifice the right for the left there, attack this curve on the left right there, and again, don't extend on the right, easy to do so. Stavlo 1, attack this curve on the right hand side, and don't extend on the left there. And then for the Stavlo 2nd, you want to be as tight to the right there to minimize your distance to the next braking zone. Into Blanchimont, again, just a kink in these modern day F1 cars, preparing for the final corner. You can make or break your lap. Into bus stop, braking just before the 100-meter board. Attack both these apexes as much as you can. Keep your minimum speed as high up as you can, and short shift on the exit to finish off a very rapid lap of the Spa International Circuit here in Belgium.
An extremely quick lap by our very own Sir SSJ Assassin, who is a streamer, as I mentioned earlier. I believe the boys have readied up, and we are going into the session very, very shortly here. Of course, last week we saw quite an interesting race here for Tier 2 at Imola. A lot of unexpected things happened, and Spa again is one of those races where those unexpected things could happen. As you can see, raining in the beginning and then cloudy towards the end of the race. So far, that is the weather forecast. Of course, it could change, but of course, we would love to see the wet race. Ink, despite missing around, still leading the championship, although ABD and Darknet have both closed in by quite a bit on Ink here. So there's quite a bit of pressure on Ink now to perform at his top once again, as you can see, the other drivers' standings as well. Shrey currently still P10, Tsukuyomi Seijor, Existence missing a few rounds himself, but he's still maintaining his position. So yeah, pretty much everyone has scored points, whoever has race. So that is a very, very good look.
Yeah,
Moving on
it
to
is very
the
important for Ink to have a good showing after missing the race yesterday to really show that he's still there at the top of the table and to extend his lead if possible.
Exactly, and that will also be the goal for Red Bull Racing. As you can see, 247 points compared to Aston Martin's 191. They are, of course, lagging quite a bit behind, mainly because of Imola, which was last weekend, where, Sai Tarun was the only Aston Martin driver driving, and he didn't have the best of races, let's just say. Whereas, yes, we did see a few unfortunate things happen with the Red Bull drivers, but they were still consistently within the top five, top six, as they have been throughout the season. Due to that, they've scored quite a lot of points, and yeah, of course, they've pulled away quite a bit of a gap as well because of that. So the WDC for now for Inc is looking quite good, but the WCC is something that they'll have to work on quite a lot.
Yeah, it is a very interesting race, and I can't wait to get into it. As we see now, Heisenberg on an out lap, and many people will be trying to aim for 3 laps. Is that right?
Yep.
So yeah, this is going to be a very tough lap as it's such a long track where a mistake can happen anyway. It is obviously the longest track in the game, so you have to hold your composure for the whole 7 kilometers.
Absolutely. Not only the composure, but you'll also have to focus for all 7 of those laps because, yes, quite long straights, but then again, those long straights just equal to drivers just, start thinking about something else other than the corner in front of them. And that just puts them off, and then that's their lap ruined. It's happened to quite a few drivers, and it has a possibility of it happening again because you see, as Arya Takore starts his lap, you can see this long camel straight going up Radion, then Eau Rouge, very iconic corners, but still a very long straight as well. So you just kind of start thinking about other things. You kind of lose focus as well as you're going up,
Mm.
and then you have a high possibility of messing up the next corner. As he has not taken it in the best way, but still very close to the apex, so not bad at all. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
looking good so far.
It is a banker lap where like you kind of try to set a safe lap. You don't really try to push it because the thing about F1 is that as the session starts early, the grip level is relatively less. So if you're gonna take unnecessary risks, it might end up ruining a banker lap, and that's the last thing you need to do in a banker lap because that lap is meant to be your so-called safe lap. Where let's say if you mess up your further laps, you have something there in the a lap time that's there to give you a position.
Absolutely, it is better than not setting lap at all. Because if you don't set lap at all, and then obviously you'll be starting last, that's one thing. Other thing being, it just puts you kind of on like a massive back foot. And it is especially crucial here to set lap because it is very easy to invalidate in a lot of corners, Pouon and then Eau Rouge as well. People try to push the track limits by quite a bit, try and gain that even that 1,000th of an advantage. That is what they go for. That is what they try to get, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. So it is a good possibility that there will be a few laps that will be invalidated because of those very very minor mistakes.
Yeah, people think the track is very big and they tend to underestimate how much they can really push the car. So they think the track is very big, they can push the track limits, nothing will happen. Little do they know it's actually a pretty easy track for you to invalidate your lap.
Absolutely. As we're on board now with Abhi20, our very own Abhi20 in Alpine. Good exit out of the bus stop. Comes across the line. P3.
Yep. Heisenberg also coming out of the last corner. P1, 3/10 ahead of Arya Takore. Who else is finishing the lap? I think Sunny, BK19, those guys will be finishing their laps as well. Faizan also now at bus stop chicane. Takes it well now on the final corner as he should be crossing the line soon. Okay, let's see Zaja now crossing the line. Okay, Zaja crosses the line P2. Not that far ahead of Arya Takore though.
Yep, not that far ahead, but not that close to Heisenberg either.
Yep. As you can
Watching
see, many
Sage's
people are
teammate,
sitting. Yeah.
Stealthy
Oh,
Sunny.
still
I think
Sunny.
he's
Yes.
backed out, I think.
Yeah. He seems to be going quite slow. FIFA Canuck not backed out, pushing the car to the limit, using all of his ERS, coming now towards Blanchimont. This is a very flat. It's an easy flat corner, especially in these cars. Now approaching the heavy braking point for bus stop chicane as he brakes, takes it well. Now the final corner, takes it well. Does he get a good exit? Ooh, a bit of
He's
oversteer
straight on
there.
that curb. Yep.
P2, only a tenth off of Heisenberg.
900 actually, and yeah, that has actually, I believe it has cost him by quite a bit. Even on the exit, that curb is good to catch your car from going off too wide, but you shouldn't really stay on it. It's a very rugged surface, and that will obviously slow you down. That's what FIFA Connect made a mistake of. He just stayed on that curve. His car just kept on bouncing on that, and obviously he did lose quite a bit of time due to that as well. As we can see, Heisenberg going back into the pits. Quite a long circuit against Stealthy Sunny. Not his actual lap again, he backed off. All these guys will be going to the pits. Faizan invalidating yet another lap. So yeah, the track limits are catching a few drivers out here.
Yeah, it's a very long track. People try to extract the best possible time, and while doing that, it's a fine line. You have to find a good balance between, and if you find yourself going over the line, you'll end up invalidating your lap.
Yep, that's how track limits work actually, thank you.
Yes, sorry for explaining it in that manner, but yes.
No worries, I get your point. But as you can see, the current WTC leader, Ink, on a lap right now, very close to 340 kph by the end of the straight. Unfortunately, he has to brake for the chicane that comes at the end of it.
Yeah,
He
slight
seems to be
understeer
doing
there.
quite well. Yep, a bit of understeer, but that's fine. It's only going to be a few hundredths loss, if that. And again, he has quite a few more runs to go himself. Looking very confident throughout these corners, almost going on to the Opmer line, or rather the esports line.
Esports line.
Puon taking a nice little double apex through Puon, going into one of my, I think this would be my personally the most favorite section of this track. The way it's flowy doesn't really require a car to just completely come to a stop. It's just very,
Yeah.
very flowy. I like that as well. Purple sector 2 according to the track map. There's a car. Oh, okay, that's one way of giving way. But yeah, we can see Ink still on his way, coming through quite a nice section of the track itself. Finally coming into bus stop, braking at just after 100. Oh, he's cooked it a little bit. Could have taken that curb a lot more. Has a decent exit. Now with the DRS, comes across the line of 43.8.
Okay, as you can see now, Sai Tarun going down Camel Straight. He's on his lap right now. Let's see if he's able to break for this. Just nice. Or will he understeer like his teammate? Takes it much better than his teammate. Now he's heading to... I forgot the name of this corner every single time. I always like say it as the long right-hander.
The long right-hander, I guess it is the long right-hander.
So this is a very technical corner, as if you lose even a bit of a grip, you can see yourself understeering. As now he heads down to Puhon, a very technical corner as well, as you can still end up understeering here as well, which he does not do. There's a bit of who's that? It's the Faizan. Okay, gives him enough space, doesn't impede him. So far, this looks like a really good lap from Sai Tarun.
Absolutely, Sai Tarun seems to be going quite well. Question is, how close can he get to his teammate? Maybe even beat him. We'll have to see as he comes again to the longest straight again, another long straight. I mean, yes, it does have a few bends here and there, but let's be real here. It's all in full throttle, so it is kind of a straight in itself.
Yep, as he's now approaching bus stop chicane, he just a bit more concentration from him as he's about to finish his lap. Does the bus stop chicane very, very well, and he gets a very good exit as he's about to cross the line. P2, what a lap!
Wow.
Aston Martin front row lockout.
Absolutely. So far, both the Red Bulls have not set a time. Dark Knight is on a lap himself. Heisenberg purple through the first sector. He is pushing it here in Spa. He seems to be doing quite well himself. We can see Dark Knight just a bit ahead of him, just crossed Puon. going into my favorite place of this track. Seems again to be going quite well for him. Very, very close to the track limits here, pretty much on the edge of the track limits, as well as his car's limits in themselves. The setups here will be running anywhere from 5.3 to 8.5, so quite low on the downforce. So yeah, we could expect to see some quite high top speeds here, especially with the DRS as well as the slipstream by the end of the Camel Straight. As Darknet finally crossing the bus stop chicane, gets a pretty good exit out of there with the DRS. Where will he finish? Where will he end up? That is pole for him, 43.7, a 10th ahead of Ink.
Wow, what a lap by Dark Knight to take pole from Ink. So let's see if Ink and Sai Tarun can find something out of their car to compete with that time.
Absolutely, as Dark Knight's teammate ABD has just started his... Oh, never mind, he's gone back into the pits. That's weird. I saw him on an outlap and then he's gone back into the pits. I think he's only going to do one run and one run only. I think he's quite confident in himself, which is good. But yeah, it's not the safest of options as we discussed earlier, obviously. Sage is starting his run as well. I think he started his run quite a bit late, because obviously to avoid any sort of traffic, but I think it might be too late if he does mess up. It'll take forever for him to go back into the pits and come back out again, because average lap time here you can see 45, 44s. Daldi Sunny next across the line, starting his lap. But yeah, as I was saying, he should pretty much have enough time, but again, how can we tell how much time is left? Because constant yellow flags. Very, very good placement by Codemasters of the yellow flags. Convenient.
As you can see, King James, I don't think he's been unable to set a lap so far. Let's see if he's able to set this. This is really, really important for him to set a lap as time is slowly running out.
Absolutely, and we can see a few Ink supporters in the chat as well. Karthik as well as Tejas, both cheering on for Ink, which is putting a lot of pressure on Ink himself, although of course, Ink is known to have quite a bit of race pace in himself rather than performing well in qualifying. He's always that very diligent guy, and he's very aware of his surroundings as well, so he's quite good in avoiding incidents. Although starting from the front, he shouldn't really have to worry about those. But then again, it's Spa, so anything could happen pretty much in the first sector here. But anyways, King James and the McLaren finally might be able to set a time. Okay, interesting. Merat is disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Oh, yeah,
he's got. I think I know what happened there. I think he's probably letting someone through, but the game considered it as blocking the pit lane.
That could be it. As King James P6 7/10 behind Dark Knight, FIFA Kanak P6, Shrikant Das P8. Looking good so far. Only Sunny yet to set a proper lap. The other guys have not gone out or have invalidated their laps, as Faizan has. Ria Takore starting another lap himself. He's turned on the ERS quite early though. I'm not sure why. But yeah, he has done that, which is weird. Anyways, I don't know really what to say here, because it's the same stuff, same long, straight, big straight.
Yeah, it is a very long track, so it's hard to accommodate over one single flying lap.
Absolutely. Same long street again, and then Abhi 20 quite close to Ariatakore. Not close enough for the slipstream, but still close enough. Let's see, will he be improving? He is green sector 1, 3 tenths down from P5, which is currently Sager, who is 5 tenths away from Dark Knight. Let's see what can Abhi 20 do through the second sector in the Alpine. He seems to be going quite well so far. Taking quite a few apexes there, mounting all of the curbs. Again, you will have to run quite a high ride height through here.
The curbs are pretty high here, or else you'll bottom out and have a massive spin, which is not really ideal, is it?
Well, I mean, that just goes without saying. It is definitely not ideal, especially on this such a tight grid. Just one mistake or just one spin could put you all the way at the back or closer to the back of the pack, which is obviously not ideal for anyone. That's a complete
Yep.
race ruiner here. That's something you'll have to watch out for. Yesterday we also saw quite a few people getting caught out under the safety car because of the placement of the safety car, as well as the delta itself. We had how rapidly it changes because of this track's nature. So that's another thing these guys will have to be looking out for. What Abhi is looking out for is crossing the line here and loses time in the final sector. Because of that, does not improve. As we can see, Ink is out for his final run in this qualifying.
Yep.
1 minute
There's
40
the
seconds.
traffic.
To go.
Slight traffic ahead. Oh, Heisenberg on an absolute flyer. About to finish the lap. Now approaching bus stop
He's starting
chicane.
a lap,
He must.
actually.
Wait. What? It's okay. Okay. The delta lied to me. Okay. It said -8 tenths. Okay.
That's
Don't
his
blame me.
previous lap.
Blame the game. No, blame Kapil. He is the creator of that. Anyways.
Yeah.
I think you can go for Ink because I think Ink is on a lap. Yeah. Oh, Ink
Oh,
approaching
traffic.
traffic, which is not ideal at all. But it just moved out of the way. But let's see if that has affected him at all, which it could have, because dirty air. Now he's on
Absolutely.
Puhon. He has slight traffic ahead as well. Let's hope he moves out of the way as well as he is approaching. I'm guessing this is chicane. Oh, understeer there. Disgusting understeer from the Ink. Oh, I think that's invalidation. Oh, it's
No,
not
it's not.
invalidation.
Very weird.
Okay, but anyways, this is not turning out to be the best lap for Ink. But somehow still gaining time. But yeah, I don't think he'll be very happy with himself. Although he's getting an insane slipstream in the car ahead though. Does slipstream apply to here simply?
If he was, yeah, now it does. Now it is.
Yeah.
The slipstream will help him out with a few hundreds. Perhaps might have gained him a tenth.
Oh, understeer. Probably from the slipstream because lack of downforce. Understeer there itself. This is not the best lap for Ink. Does he improve at all? No, he does not.
Yup, that traffic
think the
that he
slips-
constantly
yeah.
faced throughout the lap has absolutely screwed
But
him. for
I have
sure.
to say that the final traffic, I think it should be on Ink because I think Arya Tokore was on a hot lap. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not sure.
Yeah, if Arya Tokore was on a hot
Oh,
lap, he did nothing wrong. But if he was on an out lap, that is on Arya Tokore, and he might get a penalty if Ink proceeds to report him.
I mean, that slipstream was fine. I mean, he had to start his lap at that point, and considering how quick you eventually have to be, Heisenberg
True.
crossing the line, pole
He did-
43.6.
He didn't really impede him, but I would say the slipstream maybe gave him extra speed, and then he didn't really consider about braking slightly earlier, thinking about increased speed. That's why I
Trendy
understeered there.
disqualified.
Oh,
as
another
well.
person to get disqualified?
Yep, Trendy.
Ah.
Because Sai Tarun crashed out of Puhan's exit.
Oh, that is well, everyone.
If
in
I
the
say
F1
I'm in big
game.
trouble,
Let's just say people are gonna
If I
have fun
speak.
with that.
if I speak.
Oh my god, okay, that Ferrari luckily ghosted for Dark Knight, otherwise it would have been a proper Imola flashback. That would not have been ideal for Dark Knight. He only has a 10th to improve though to get that pole away from Heisenberg. Coming into bus stop chicane, quite a lot of time to game here for himself. Will he be able to do it on the exit now with the DRS turned on? Comes across the line.
Does
It
not
did
improve. Is
Still a
FIFA gonna
good
on a
effort.
lap? This could be pole for him. Oh no, he's just started a lap. Never mind. Oh wait, no, he did
No.
improve.
Improved,
Yeah.
but wasn't enough for him to move up a position.
Ah.
As you can see,
So, yeah,
quite a
that's
few
really-
drivers not setting a lap, which is only ABD and Faizan. Strandy and Mirat
Yeah, I
got
wonder why.
disqualified.
What ABD was doing.
Parth Patel or Mamu Kadmi, Red Bull driver, whatever you want to call him, he said ABD is going to win, which is interesting because ABD is not set a lap yet. And if he does have that pace in him, he has a lot, and I mean a lot of work to do to get around here.
Yep. This was a very interesting quali as expected. I think everyone expected, Heisenberg to get pole and Dark Knight to be very close. So the top 5 is sort of expected except for Sai Tarun, who has improved massively in terms of quali performance. Am I right?
Absolutely. From what I remember, Ink did make Sai do quite a bit of quali practice, and that's why Sai has definitely improved in the quali pace. Although Sai's strong suit has been his qualifying pace, he does lack slightly in the race pace, but we'll see how that turns out for him, especially because of the slipstreamy as well as the DRSE nature of this track. He might actually be able to go for quite a few moves here if he can pull that off.
Yep.
It-
As we are waiting now to move on to the
ABD
next.
ABD was not even in the session for the entire quali because I just got the message saying that he joined.
Oh, okay. Interesting. No wonder he didn't settle up. Is it raining? No, it's not. Unfortunate. We'd love to see a bit of rain.
Yeah, rain will make it interesting. I remember a race here, I think 2 seasons ago, in the rain where like everyone was so close together, but overtakes were really, really tough. But that race really kept me on my toes the whole time. Where like Aradhya, I think you guys might know him, where like he was sending dive bombs everywhere. It was slightly scary, but I held my nerve. But yeah, it's one of those races where like not many overtakes happen, but it was genuinely exciting, especially when you're driving it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have much to add to that, to be honest. You just have summed it up perfectly. As we wait now for the ready up message to go out.
Yep.
One thing I did realize though, now that because ABD was disconnected, will he have his setup? Will he be able to, he won't be able to do a strategy, so that's already putting him on the back end. Will
Right.
he
If
have
he
his
if he
setup?
joined the lobby in the first place and put his setup, I think he should be fine.
Not sure though. We'll just have to wait and see. That's all really we can do. What if he can actually get a setup or not? As we can see, the drivers starting. And Asher, why don't you take us away with the start this time?
Sure. As you can see, people are readying up. The timer is slowly counting down. Everyone's trying to calm down their nerves and focus on the race start. As there'll be some people who are going to be opportunistic and try to make some moves, but there are also going to be people who will be very, very safe and just their main objective is not to get wing damage. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. As you can see, 5 lights, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lights out and away we go. Heisenberg gets a decent start. Does Ing get a better start? Oh, as you can see, Ink on softs. Ink does get a better start. Diving, trying to overtake Heisenberg. Heisenberg covers it over very, very well. As you can see, everyone rushing towards Radion. Heisenberg gets an insane start. Ink got Dark Knight off the line. And Dark Knight now under pressure from Arya Takore and Sai Tarun. As you can see, now everyone bombing their way down Camel Straight. Now Dark Knight trying to make a move on Ink. Is he deploying EARS? Not sure if we can tell. Please turn on telemetry. As you can see, Dark Knight still trying to make his way around Ink because this is not good for him as he's going to go long on these tires, and if he's going to let people on soft tires overtake him, it's going to ruin his strategy. As you can see, Abhi, I think probably spun at the chicane. I'm not sure what happened there. FIFA Kanak trying to overtake Sai Tarun. Sai Tarun covers it off very, very well. Simply.
Absolutely, he has to cover it off very, very well because he is on the softs. King James getting very close to making a move on Sager, and that is raindrops. So it makes sense as to why they were on the soft. So the medium runners are pretty much screwed because the rain is right here, and while the advantage lasts for the soft runners, the rain's gonna come. And they'll all have to pit for inters. Medium runners are gonna lose out on quite a bit of ground here.
Yep, this race has just been turned upside down. Now it's basically pushed all the way till the end comes. And the biggest winners out of this are Sai Tarun, Ink, and King James, as long as they do not get any sort of wing damage.
Absolutely, but they'll also have to start pumping those laps in before The rain comes through as Darknet has been tapped by Arya Thakore and he has spun around, losing a lot of positions. That is King James spinning around on the exit of bus stop as well. Luckily gets away with no damage, but that has ruined his strategy. Sai Tarun already pulling off into the pits and not sure what he'll be going on to. Could be Inters because that is what he really should be going on to. Yes, Sai Tarun making a very early call onto the Inters. Might not be an advantage for him as the track is still pretty much dry. The rain's not even here properly. We can see Dark Knight and FIFA Canuck. Dark Knight's closing in more and more on FIFA Canuck. Now side by side with FIFA Canuck down the inside. 3 wide on the Camel Straight. Going down the inside is Dark Knight and makes a move on FIFA Canuck. Cannot overtake Faizan soon enough. Although does stab the rear of Faizan because he had to slow down for Sager making a mistake. In the rear, we can see Shrikant Das and FIFA Kanak. Actually, Shrikant Das and PK19 having a battle. Faizan and Sager now. And so does Dark Knight and FIFA Kanak. FIFA Kanak tapping the rear of Dark Knight because the Dark Knight has to concede position yet again. Although he does manage to go by immediately on the next corner. Has the inside going into Puon. The track is getting wetter. The grip is getting lesser. They will have to eventually stop battling because everyone will have to dive into the pits. And I believe it will be at the end of this lap. And there is massive collision in the back. 2 drivers being collected. Shrikant Das has spun around. It could be with Meroth. That is a safety car, and this has saved pretty much everyone's race because it is raining. It is time to go into the pits and go on to the Inters.
Yeah, this has really saved the race of mainly the medium runners, as they don't really lose that much of an they aren't really at that much of a disadvantage. But this is now Sai Tarun's chance to make up his
Look
some
at
position.
Sai
Yes?
Tarun, he's already out of Inters. We noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say this is his chance to make a lot of positions.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't mention it, Assassin, earlier, but yeah. Sai Tarun on the Inters, not sure if it will help him out or not because these... Actually, you know what? Sai Tarun could be in a very good position here. He is... Let's go on board Sai Tarun because it's obvious everyone will be going on to the Inters. I want to see where does Sai Tarun come out. Oh, he is being held up by Strendy. Strendy not going quick enough. That could really hinder Sai Tarun here. Not the best. He's gonna gain quite a few positions. There goes Strendy into the pits. What can Sai Tarun do? He's dumping the ERS to try and regain as many positions as possible. 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th. He's 5th. He's 8th. Unfortunate. I think him being held up by Strendy did cost him quite a bit there. I think he could have at least come out perhaps ahead of Dark Knight or Sager.
Yep. So now this is everyone's chance to pit, and now the grid is sort of the same, but not really, as Ink has overtaken Heisenberg. Dark Knight down in 5th. Poor guy got tapped by Arya Tokore. Man, will this guy ever catch a break?
Well, hopefully in this race, we did see in Miami his absolutely amazing pace in the wet. So hopefully he'll be able to carry that over. Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to be the best of days for him either. Actually, not the best of mid-season ever for him.
Yep. So now there's really isn't much to talk now, is there? Except for that Strendy and Abhi have gotten penalties. Can you take a look at what those penalties are?
And the classic drive-through. What I did mention, very easy to get caught out on that, and Strendy with a 3 second, which is interesting because we've had the drive for about 2 laps and immediately he's gotten a 3 seconds.
So yeah, now it's going to be slightly boring until the safety car is in the pits. So simply, what do you think? Do you think people are going to struggle? Like, is it raining too heavily for them? Are they going to struggle a bit?
I think Inters are fine for now. The dry line is coming through. I don't think they're going to really struggle much. Although, yeah, the lap times are going to slow down by quite a bit now.
Yeah.
As Faizan casually setting the purple middle sector of this race.
I think everyone's probably like, haven't said a valid lap yet.
You remember in Spa in 2021 when Nikita Mazepin set the fastest lap?
Oh yeah, I remember.
That kind of situation could happen here if Faizan manages to somehow continue on with that purple sector.
Yeah. But yeah, do you think will the race dry up later?
I believe it should in the dying few laps. Yes.
Okay, interesting. That really brings up a dilemma for the drivers on when to pit and all.
I mean, at this point, I'd say just go by what's happening. And here is our weather forecast. Apparently wet throughout. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so 20 minutes in, it's gonna dry up. So it's gonna become thunderstorms 10 minutes going further into this race.
I think it's bugged out a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah, the qualifying is showing the race's weather, but that's absolutely fine. At least we can still find out what the weather is going to be. So towards the end of the race, I think it could be a good opportunity for these guys to go onto the softs. For sure.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, I guess the restart will be very sketchy restart as it's a bit tough on the wet as lack of grip and stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. So Stealthy Sunny disconnected from the race. But yeah, it's gonna go from Inters. Currently we're on Inters age in just a few minutes time. It's gonna go on to the wets as Trendy probably is listening in as he's already on the wets.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. It is raining very, very heavily, to be fair.
Can we go on board? Ah. I don't know if it's your graphics. No. Actually, yeah, the weather, it is starting to rain a bit heavier now. So I think Trendy could be the one with the advantage here. But he still does have that 3-second time penalty. That's not gonna go away for him. So that could be a bit of a hindrance for him. That's just it.
Yep. So as you're waiting for safety car to be in.
King James has made a mistake.
Oh,
He's
safety car in his lap. Speak of the
This is
devil.
fun. I mean, yeah, everyone was caught up. Of course, the safety car was gonna go in this lap. King James made a mistake, but that's fine. This isn't good. Ink has disconnected from the session. Can we turn up the telemetry? Oh no, everyone's gonna have massive throttle cuts. The AI is already going, but the safety car's not even gone into the pits. It's just at the bus stop chicane. Slow down, please.
Expect some broken wings to be donated. Many hundreds of thousands of euros gonna be wasted.
Or
not.
Surprising.
Yeah. There you go.
Sager making a mistake already. Dark Knight will be able to get past him after the start-finish line. There's a whole group of cars that is just left behind. That that was weird. In 5 minutes, full wets, I believe. Yeah, that's true. That's Faizan going off wide. Dark Knight up into P5. Sai Tarun, is he also ghosted? Are both the Astons ghosted? Yes, they are. Both the Aston Martin boys are ghosted. They're going to be losing out on so much time. Faizan, what an exit! He's just flown past Dark Knight as well as Sai Tarun. Oh my god. But yeah, his next target then I guess would be Sager, and then his teammate for today, Arya Thakore. How is Ink staying ahead despite being despite being disconnected? I'm not sure what crack the AI is on, but whatever crack that is, we desperately need that.
Yeah, I think everyone's struggling to get used to the wet. Well, obviously, AI doesn't really have that kind of getting used to the wet problem. So yeah, I think sooner or later Heisenberg will be able to catch up to him and overtake him with ease.
Yep, he has frozen 3 tenths, as you just say that, and he is getting closer and closer and closer to Ink's AI. One thing that will not help Ink either when he does rejoin is the fact that he's not going to have any ERS left because the AI uses up all of the ERS. He's going to have more than expected tire wear as well on an already high tire wear track. So, yeah, his race is pretty much screwed. As you can see, the AI dumping his ERS casually for him. Dark Knight, Faizan did get past Sager in the background while we were watching Heisenberg casually go by Ink's AI. Dark Knight is ahead, or well rather trying to catch up to Sager. Sai Tarun still disconnected himself. Both the Aston boys cannot join back for whatever reason. This is not good for Aston Martin at all, where Red Bull have done quite well so far. Dark Knight in P6, ABD is down into P10, but then again, he's facing disconnection issues himself. So all of the championship leaders are having all issues themselves. Sai Tarun, finally, the first Aston Martin back. He'll have to do a lot of work. His AI is helping him catch the driver head by just a bit, but that's mainly because Dark Knight is fighting Sager, not because the AI is quick. As Arya Thakore getting past Ink now, next will be Faizan, and Ink desperate, I'm pretty sure, at this point to get back and take control of his car.
Yeah, the longer it takes, the more ink is dropping down the order. And especially in these conditions, it's going to be near impossible to make an overtake.
Absolutely. He'll just have to wait for the weather transition, and by the looks of how much rain is getting splattered up, I think in the next maybe a lap or two, people will be boxing yet again for the full wet tires. The rain is starting to collect up by quite a bit.
As you say that, Indians makes an insane move down the inside on Trendy. That is really surprising. I didn't expect. I guess the wets aren't really working out that much after all.
Of course, it's not wets yet. It is getting there, but it's not there yet. The inters are still faster. We're kind of on a transition period right now, if you want to call that. So sooner or later, yes, the wets will get faster, but for now, the inters are still faster. Dark Knight now overtaking Ink's hosted car. Ink is still not here. Not sure what's going on with him. Oh, okay, weird. And Faizan overtaking his teammate Arya Thakore. I think there could have been team orders, to be honest, because there's realistically not enough space for Faizan to make a move. Arya Thakore slowing down. I think possibly Arya Thakore is told to just hold up Sager and Dark Knight from this point onwards, or at least try and delay them catching up to Faizan as much as possible. As Faizan 2.5 seconds behind Heisenberg, and Ink finally joins back as his teammate Sai Tarun is about to overtake Ink himself.
Yep, this is devastating for Ink as all of his efforts in quali and to take the lead in the race is all down in the gutter.
Unfortunately, that is the case. ABD right behind Stealthy Sunny. Stealthy Sunny, I believe, is on controller and no traction control, no ABS, whereas ABD is on wheel and full TC automatic gear. So that is going to be a bit of a hindrance for ABD. Actually, a bit of a hindrance to Stealthy Sunny because he's on no TC. But as long as he manages to keep it clean, he might be able to get past. As both the Aston Martin teammates are now fighting it. It actually just looked like Ink let Sai Tarun by on the inside. So I think Sai Tarun has now been left to go ahead and try and catch up to Dark Knight and the other guys, be the Moses for Ink, and then eventually perhaps there could be team orders at the end for Ink to go by.
Yeah, I think it's mainly for to give Ink some time to get used to the conditions and get some pace, because no point holding up his own teammate. As the better thing to do is just let his teammate through, get used to the condition, and then if you catch up to the teammate, then switch positions again.
Yep, that could be it, as Trendy picks up another 3-second time penalty.
Yep. I would say simply this race is going to be rather bland if there aren't going to be any immoral shenanigans. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean, the big nature of this track, good to drive on, not the best for racing itself, especially when you add weather. Oh, that is BK19 making a mistake. That is his front wing gone in not the best of conditions. Dark Knight getting past Sager meanwhile.
As you can see now, Abhi trying to make the move on Meroth, sends it down the inside. Does he finish it? Yes, he does. What a move, what a dive bomb. That was beautiful from Abhi.
Beautiful indeed. A very, very good move from Abhi. Quite an experienced guy himself. Has been around for a long time. And his experience coming to play here in the wets. As remember, in the wets, yes, setup and car do kind of matter. But then again, it's majority of the drive comes down to the driver itself to drive his car and make sure that he can adapt to the conditions and be quick in them.
Yep, as you know, it's sort of a train all the way till what, P9, P8? This is P9.
Yeah, around P9, yeah, P8, yeah.
Oh,
Sage is
that's a
making a
Ferrari
mistake.
Sager.
He's
Is it
gone
a?
wide.
I don't
That
think
is
that's a
FIFA
wing
correct.
gone. Okay, wing is fine. Wing is fine.
Wing is fine. Yeah, he just made a mistake, went wide. That
Yeah, it's a
is,
very, very costly mistake. He lost
yeah,
a lot of positions there.
yeah. That's just helped Sager get past him. Now next is Faizan. Oh, Faizan's caught up to Heisenberg. 2 seconds while we weren't even paying attention. Faizan's on a flyer.
Yeah, I think Faizan probably went for a setup that's more focused on the wet. That's why he suddenly come alive during this wet stint, when he was rather timid in the dry stint.
Absolutely inconsistent. Oh, Strandy has retired from this race. Safety car.
Oh, Faizan will absolutely hate it. Oh, he actually made the move on Heisenberg. But
I
is that,
think he might have
is
given
that
it
after
back.
the yellow flag? Yeah, he has to give it.
Yeah,
give it
he's slowing
immediately.
down to give it back. Or not.
Unless
What's
Heisenberg is
happening?
trying to.
It could be that on the very, very edge, like before the delta
Yeah,
and all that came up, he
edge.
made that move. It all happened in such a
Oh,
short
are they
span.
pitting? Is he pitting for wets?
He has to be putting for wets. Has to be. It's another early call for the wets. I think it is wets right now, though. I'm pretty sure it is wets right now.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. When it comes to wet weather, I barely know anything about this game because it really depends on how good your graphics is to really understand if it's time for wets or dries.
Or for once, Mark could actually be helpful and tell you, yo, it is
Yeah,
wets.
true. Ayatakura is on the wets. Interesting. Let's see if the others follow the call.
Well, he's the only one who's gone in, so I don't think anyone's following the
No,
call other than Abhi.
BK19 as well.
Abhi's gone in. Yeah, and BK19. But yeah, Abhi's gone in. So is Mira. So only a few
Yeah.
people following him. Others still staying out on inters.
I'm very interested to see if that is a move by Faizan because right as he was sizing up Heisenberg for that move, the safety car came out. So maybe it might be right on the edge. Who knows?
Absolutely. Let's just hope that it was legal for Faizan's sake. Because he has been putting in quite a performance today. And, he could be on for the win here as it will obviously eventually drive, but that will be towards the end of the race as long as he can keep that consistency up, keep that performance up while it is still raining, because as we predicted, he does have quite a bit of a rain setup going on for him. Then I think, yeah, he could end up on the podium. Emphasis on the could. Again, it comes down to him keeping it clean. Let's not jinx anyone just yet. I don't want to do that. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Faizan back on the podium for sure.
Yep. It's very interesting as this race still has a long way to go. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. And yeah, there's really not much to say.
Yeah, I understand. It is under the safety car. Not a lot of things are happening.
Yep. Yeah, right now, like you said, there really isn't much to commentate on.
Let's come up with something then.
Yes, so will you be racing for the Tier 1 race tonight then?
Well, I will have to. I haven't had the best of performances. Any points I could get, I'll absolutely take. Nice mic, Assassin.
Yes, beautiful mic as it is.
What about you, Ashray? Are you racing?
No, unfortunately not. My PC is the game has been really unstable for me for some reason. I'm getting crashes.
Back to
So, yeah.
console.
Actually, yeah, who knows?
You know, as they always say, never forget where you started. That's always a pretty good saying to go by. That is why I've gone back to console for racing in Tier 1, which will be tonight at 8 p.m. IST. The fastest boys in India on the F1 game. So do make sure to tune in and watch.
Yeah, it will be very interesting as we have an insane amount of people attending the race today. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Absolutely, it's going to be a banger of a race in itself. And let's just hope there's actually close racing. I mean, no one's actually properly dominating. But then again, it's Breather Pro, it's Helium. Who really knows what's going to happen?
Yep. Safety car still not in this lap, and only IRC. Oh, BK19 switched back to the
Oh,
Inters, and someone is retired. Merov.
under the safety
Merov.
car.
That is.
He's done a Perez. 2021. Belgium again.
Oh,
The
that was
exact
under.
corner.
Okay, that. Okay. Yeah, I remember.
This is giving a Perez fan nice flashbacks, even though I'm 1/7.
But yeah, it is a very similar incident to that, and yeah, it does break your heart to see people making mistakes like that, because it is kind of shooting yourself in the foot, obviously.
I mean, if you get lucky, then might not really be shooting yourself in the foot. You could get away with it, but yeah, majority of the times it is that, yes.
Shooting yourself in the foot, nonetheless.
Exactly. As the safety car will be going in this lap, Faizan leading this pack away. 13 drivers remain, and we just have to keep an eye out on Faizan to see when he does go. He will be slowing the pack down, weaving,
Yep.
getting those tire
Yep.
temperatures in. We can see
It
Ink
will-
pulling off a nice Kimi impression by not weaving at all.
It will be a very, very sketchy restart as well.
Yeah, Faizan, I was about to say Faizan could have gone then because of the gap between him and Heisenberg, but the safety car is not in the pits. It is in now. Faizan can go now. Go now, Faizan. And he has gone a very decent restart from Faizan. 7-10. Let's see what the actual delta is. 4-10.
Heisenberg is catching up. I think he had a better first phase acceleration, but I think Heisenberg had the better on him regarding second phase acceleration. That's where probably the lower TC of Heisenberg really helped him out. As he is now closing up on Faizan, coming up to Radion. I think he's now hanging back a bit. It is not good to catch up to him here, but I think now he might deploy his ERS now. Yep, he is. But I think now it's a bit too far behind.
There. I think he aquaplaned through there because he just randomly slowed down mid corner. I think he's aquaplaned through going up Eau Rouge.
Oh,
that is
that is
Arya
Arya
Tokore.
Tokore.
And that's a reset caught on camera as well. Not good for Arya Tokore. That will be adding salt. That will be adding
is
salt to his injuries.
Sunny understeering off, and that is not good from either as he let his teammate Sager through. Heisenberg falling back drastically from Faizan. Where has Faizan found this space from? And Dark Knight catching up to Heisenberg, who is closely followed by Sai Tarun, Ink, and FIFA Canuck.
Yes, a lot of pressure on Dark Knight currently as well as on Heisenberg. Heisenberg, I think he's gone extreme dry setup here. Does not seem to have any pace at all in the width. His Faizan almost 2 seconds ahead. We love to see that.
Yeah, this is not so good for Heisenberg. I think he's just not able to get any grip at all. Will these people on these intense people go to the end?
No, they'll definitely have to go one more time for another pair of winters if they have to. But I think if you're brave enough to stretch them out, thanks to the help of the safety car and all of that, I'm pretty sure you can just wait until it turns to dry, then go on to the softs and I guess finish the race from there.
Then yeah, I guess these guys are expecting to turn dry, or else they would have pitted now, because they had a perfect chance to do so.
Absolutely, that would have given a nice fresh pair of tires and a nice strategy as well. But yeah, you can see Heisenberg slowing down Dark Knight, which is slowing everyone down behind him. Faizan's loving it, and so am I. Faizan for the win. I'll take. Oh my god, a brave dive from Ink on his teammate. Goes wide though, cooks it a little too much. Sai Tarun with the switchback goes past Ink yet again. I think these Aston boys should be working together, not against.
Who let him cook?
Indeed, who let him cook? Not well. FIFA Kanak now on Ink here on the inside. Both are spamming their ERS. Ink has the advantage of the slipstream. Because of that, he cannot. Yeah, FIFA cannot get by Ink. But yeah, that was good teamwork there. But yeah, that kind of screwed Ink, and now it is wet. Look at that spray coming off of Ink's car.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting as some people are making mistakes, which is absolutely not ideal at all. As you can see, more mistakes being made, and that is more and more people's races being ruined.
Absolutely, BK19 making a mistake, a tad bit of mistake there, and he's given up the position to Abhi again. Abhi seems to be doing quite well into the top 10 now. Let's see, we'll see towards the end where he'll be able to finish in this race. And yeah, these guys are definitely driving through full wet conditions right now, somehow struggling, but still managing to pull it off. I think the wet conditions will only be here for a few minutes, and that is why they're, not bothering to go on to the wets. But I have driven inters on full wet conditions, and trust me, it is not a good thing to be doing at all. It's
Yeah.
not a very enjoyable experience because
Is there really full wet? No, I don't see many puddles of standing water. That's when usually wets are used for. As you can see, ABD trying to set one down instead of Sager, but not really committing to it. Does he try to do a switchback? He does. He does get a slightly better exit, but it's well blocked off by Sager.
very, very nice defense, and that has actually put Avi into P9, ABD back down to P10. Or not, he sent one down the inside and he stabbed Sunny around. Sunny has lost out a few positions. ABD up into P8, but yeah, that was extremely dodgy.
Yeah, that is unfortunately not nice. Sunny wouldn't have. Wait, no, Sager. Wait, who got tapped? Sager, right? Or Sunny?
That
Sunny.
was Sager who got that. So Stealthy Sunny is out in front.
Oh,
3
ahead.
seconds. Oh wait!
Oh my god, he's going down in the middle.
BK19 with an ambitious move there has managed to go up into P8. He's on a comeback drive, but wow.
Both cars are spread wide open for BK19 to go through with ease.
Absolutely, and that is Api sending it on the inside of APD. APD struggling. Deepak in the comments saying, thank God I was not able to participate today. And I think Deepak actually you should have. This is really, really fun to watch. Not sure about how fun it is driving, but yeah, very fun to watch indeed. As ABD was looking down the inside of Api20 going through Puan, but decides to back out. Not a very good move to make. Faizan 3.5 seconds from Heisenberg. Heisenberg has pretty much become the second driver in Mercedes because he is slowing down. Quite quick drivers here. Dark Knight, Sai Tarun, Ink, FIFA Kanak. That's just helping Faizan pull away more and more and more. And all Faizan has to do is just not make a mistake and try and capitalize on in these wet conditions as much as possible.
Yeah, it will be tough. It's easier said than done, simply, to be completely honest with you.
Absolutely, and what was easier in Dark Knight's mind was to defend off from Sai Tarun. However, Sai Tarun, very, very good move. They're a very brave and ambitious dive bomb, and he has made it stick. Dark Knight will not be going for one either, but yeah. Next up is Heisenberg for Sai Tarun. For Ink, it is indeed Dark Knight. How well can Dark Knight defend off from at least Ink is the question here. And you see Sai Tarun actually... Okay, that's really weird because Dark Knight was gaining on the entry going into Radion and then slowed down going through Eau Rouge, and then on the exit he's gaining again on Sai Tarun with the ERS spam down the inside. Oh, Sai Tarun's broken late and he has made a mistake. Dark Knight playing a very good psychological game here, although to no efforts as this track is just not wide enough for these cars.
That is a shame. Like, Dark Knight was sizing up a move on Sai Tarun. Sai Tarun made a mistake, but he covered up for his mistake very, very well.
Absolutely, and in the next 5 minutes,
Yep. So right now everyone's in a line, a very line that is producing some good content. I can't lie, as everyone's under pressure from the person behind them. And FIFA Kanak is under pressure because he wants to make some positions to improve from a position that he will not want to finish.
absolutely. And can you go on board Faizan just to check how much ERC he has, because he better not be dumping it. 50%. Well, he'll need to keep some of it because he does not have the best of pace in the dry weather, so he'll need to have some of his ERS left at the end. So I'd say Faizan, if you're listening in, start conserving, buddy. You'll need it when it's when it stops raining. Ink though, looking down the... Oh, he just sent it on Dark Knight. He's just done what Sai Tarun did a lap earlier. He's gone off wide. The 5 seconds for corner cutting, that's a bit much.
No, but I think it is fair because he finished that move by cutting the corner, so I don't see how that's unfair.
Okay, well, he's given the position. Never mind, he's not given the
No,
position.
since he's gotten the penalty, there's no point giving it back. He might as well just hold on to it.
Yep, and FIFA Kanak has held on to P5 after Dark Knight just let him by there going through turn 1.
Because it's a very similar thing to Saudi 2021 where Max Verstappen overtook Hamilton and like cut the corner and he was only able to hold on to the overtake because he cut the corner. So it's a very similar thing. As you can see, Kanak trying to make a move on Ink. Ink sends him slightly wide, hard racing with these two. Dark Knight trying to make a move now on FIFA Kanak. Kanak covers it off very, very well.
Yep, he is. He got put into a very compromised position and he has managed to make something out of it. ABD picking up a 3-second time penalty here. Faizan, pull away, play. I just want to see Faizan win today. We'll all love to see that. Dark Knight, P6. Still not able to get past FIFA Kanak. Actually, if you look at it this way, both the Red Bulls are stuck behind both the Alpines.
Yeah, the thing is, this race is far from being done because I think I'm not sure if you noticed, just then it said 5 minutes to slicks condition.
Yes, and it has been just one lap, so we can expect slicks at around 17, lap 18.
Yeah, unless the game is lying to us.
And nah, I mean, look at it, the clouds are starting to go in. That is what I was saying. Faizan, pull away, save the ERS. Because he needed in the dry, because he's much slower than the guys behind him in the dry conditions. As much of a gap he can pull off, the better it will be for 5 seconds now, Faizan and Heisenberg. So yeah, looking good for Faizan. Meanwhile, on the other hand, not looking good for FIFA Kanak. Well, rather, it's not looking good for Dark Knight because he has been stuck behind FIFA Kanak for quite a few laps now.
Yeah. So this is going to be very interesting as Dark Knight will be getting rather frustrated after being behind FIFA Connect for so long. He was P3 just a few laps away and now he's down in P6. It's absolutely gutting for him.
Yeah, well,
now the gap between P3 and P6 isn't much. FIFA Connect trying to close the gap on Sai Tarun showing a masterful display on racecraft and pace as he's holding his own in P3.
Yep, Sai Tarun doing quite well. He's slowly catching up onto Heisenberg as well. And once again, Faizan will be hoping Sai Tarun and Heisenberg just battle rather than, Heisenberg easily letting Sai Tarun by. Again, it'll also make for good racing if they do battle it out here. And you can see Sai Tarun just very slightly sliding. They're going through Puon, but still manages to keep it under control. Oh, never mind, that was Ink.
Okay. But yeah, Ink has a penalty right now. Let's see if any team play comes into this where they swap positions and Sai Tarun tries to hold the pack back a bit and hopefully the Ink doesn't lose too many positions, at most one I guess, which is only Sai Tarun's position.
Yep, he is getting definitely closer. Yeah, not really much to add there, to be honest.
Yeah, Faizan consistently pulling away from Heisenberg while Sai Tarun is consistently catching up to Heisenberg.
Yep, Heisenberg.
Very, very interesting to see as he says personal best.
Yeah, but look at those tires. Look at the state of them. Orange. That's what? 60%, 70%? They're going to turn into slick soon, for God's sake. Some slinters from Turkey 2021 once again. 2021 is such a good calendar, man. I don't know why they've ruined it now. Some very, very good races in 2020 as well as 2021. But yeah, it is what it is. FIFA, I was about to say Kang because I have a habit of saying Kang, but Kanak. FIFA Kanak. Ink has a 3-second time penalty, so FIFA Kanak will be able to take that position away. But it'd be better if he could overtake, obviously, Ink on the track itself. And, perhaps catch up to Sai Tarun if he can, or at least defend off from Ink. because yeah, Sai Tarun is quite far down the road from Ink himself.
Yeah. So it will be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. It says it's going to turn dry soon, but it's still raining slightly, so it's a bit tough to say. Is it really going to dry soon? I think if I was Sai Tarun, I would want it to get dry soon, looking at the state of his tires.
Yeah, I mean, looking the state of everyone's tires, 15 lap on these inters, definitely not the best of situations for him. Absolutely not, or for anyone to be honest. The tires will be crying. Just send me back to the Pirelli factory. Let me be recycled because they don't want to be here anymore. Oh, that just gave me flashbacks. But yeah, but yeah. Quite a few laps already on these inters. When will it turn dry? Because when it 5 minutes again, it says slicks, but there's only 5 laps left.
I don't think it's gonna turn slicks, mate. I don't think it's gonna turn slicks.
It is definitely not. So this whole race has become.
Oh, sector 3 yellow.
Oh.
Okay,
Diamond
nothing.
on track where Arya Thakkore.
Yep. Notice that.
That is a report. Cool. Race control. Oh, Sai Tarun got a penalty. That is not good.
Absolutely not, as FIFA Kanak actually within a second, so FIFA Kanak has caught up. That is when he's gotten that 3 seconds.
So now it's on Ink to fall back and protect his teammates' podium. This is absolutely not good. Sai Tarun, who was trying to fight his way to T2, now will be fighting to keep his podium in the first place, which is absolutely not ideal for either him or his team.
Absolutely, and how is he gonna do it when everyone at this point will go into instant tire conservation mode because everyone's tires are dead, and now it has become the game of who the last to get a puncture wins the race. Can we go back to Faizan meanwhile?
And guys, FYI, it has stopped raining. The track
Yes.
is drying up.
Yep, it is dry now. Faizan, pit! Please win this race, Faizan. Come on.
Is it dry enough for slicks? I mean, just look.
Absolutely. It is bone dry, Ashery. You can see it right in front of you. In fact, those inters are going to start overheating soon. Can we go on board
Yeah.
Faizan, please?
He is on board Faizan.
He's off board. Yeah, that's obviously dry now. DRS enabled. Pit Faizan.
Does he take the risk though? Does he take the risk?
He has to. No, he cannot. He has to pit. Yes, very
He
good.
is pits. Heisenberg, I think he'll obviously.
Everyone
take the risk
will be
and not pit.
pitting.
I think Heisenberg. Oh, Heisenberg pits.
Everyone has to pit, Ashery. What are you looking at? Oh, Sai Tarun slammed it to the wall there. A bit of his wing might be gone, but yeah, everyone's gonna get held up. Faizan is on mediums.
Why is it medium? Why is Faizan on
Faizan.
mediums?
Oh
No. Okay, I don't think it'll be that bad, but it's still not ideal. To yeah.
Everyone else is on softs. They're on
Yes.
soft. Everybody straight out. Everybody straight out.
He stayed out.
What is
This is gonna
ABD
be-
doing, man? But
This
okay,
is very, very interesting to
I
see.
don't know what is happening. Let's be real here. The softs only last for about 2 laps because they die after that. Does it really make sense for Faizan to have advantage for that one singular lap though? Does it
I
make
think he'll be
sense?
fine. He has a good gap, anyways. It's not like he's gonna lose position for being on the mediums.
Can we have the telemetry on, please? I just want to see the ERS levels of that, especially crucial at this point. ABD 3 seconds won't be a hindrance to anyone. He's just gonna have to pit and go all the way back now. So that's his race pretty much ruined. Still
But
be within
I
points.
think it was honestly as much as oh Ink
Ink!
has a spin and collects a P with him.
Oh my god, that is very un-Ink-like. And yeah, definitely not been the weekend for him. B20 unfortunately getting that give position back message. That screwed him over. King James has gotten past B20 or not. Oh well, okay, well, he has now. So yeah, unfortunate weekend for B20 was looking so good. Ink 3 getting another 3. Oh, actually, Ink getting his first 3-second time penalty as well. Both the Asen guys have had a pretty bad
Wait,
weekend.
what? That's not his first. I swear the whole time I was saying that he had a penalty.
It was Sai Tarun.
No, both. That's what I'm saying. Both had penalties from the start.
Nah, man.
I'm not high. I swear. Hold up.
You can calm down. It was Ink had a 5-second time penalty because of that car cutting.
Also, he served it in the pits. Oh,
See,
someone's
I'm not
gone straight. FIFA
I'm not
Kanak has gone
hallucinating.
straight. Almost.
But yeah, I think genuinely speaking, I think ABD staying out might not be the worst thing ever. Mainly because like he was not going to do well anyways in the position he was. So that is, I would say, a sort of half-calculated risk. He had
Stelvizan is
nothing to
retired
lose.
from this race. Won't be a safety car though. Too late for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty bad place to DNF as well. That's like a Norris moment right there from 2019. Heisenberg now on ABD.
ABD on absolutely nil DRS.
He has no
Nada.
ERS, does not even have the ERS. He has nothing.
He's going to get double overtaken now. Okay, might not be such a good move by him after all, like he's not pitting.
Well, the whole field goes on to slicks. You, the only person who stays on winters, your tires are overheating. You do not have the ERS. Of course, it's a bad move, Hashery.
No, but the thing is, at first he wasn't.
Sai Tarun sent it down the inside of Heisenberg. Heisenberg.
Round the outside, actually.
It was down the inside, then turned to down the outside, but yeah.
But
Dark
yeah,
Knight
now-
getting a 3-second.
Oh, no,
Up-
wait, that's Dark Knight. I thought it's Heisenberg. Never mind.
No.
But now Sai Tarun has the huge ask of making a 3-second gap to Heisenberg if he wants to keep his podium. Sorry, his P2. He does keep a podium, but yeah. FIFA Connect also
Or
overtaking ABD. So Dark Knight will be begging ABD to let him through, not
He's
to cause him any
disconnected.
trouble.
Everybody's
just-
disconnected.
I think he just disconnected
Quite
because it was
literally,
done.
Oh my god. It could be a rage quit. Hopefully it is
Yeah.
not a rage quit. Because he's been in AF for way too long this whole weekend.
I think Dark Knight should start pushing now because FIFA Connect might not be getting the DRS down the straight where he can take advantage of that.
Yep, 3 seconds for King James. Faizan setting the fastest lap of his race. 9 seconds of a gap from Sai Tarun to Faizan. Starting the penultimate lap.
I
Faizan.
think it's mainly because ABD did an insane job of holding everyone up.
BK19 fastest lap, okay.
And yeah,
nice.
because stops. But yeah.
Yep. Still a pretty.
And he's not
it has
really in
been
that
a
much
very-
of traffic as well.
Yeah, but it has been a very good weekend for BK19 nonetheless. Considering he's not had the best of season so far, this will definitely be quite a good result for him.
Yeah, I mean, to feel this race start off in a disastrous manner for him. And he was like halfway through the race, he had lost his wing completely.
Yep. And he still managed to come down to P6, and I think probably will finish in P6 unless he can close in on that gap to Dark Knight.
Yeah,
But
he just has to
perhaps
close in
hand
3
that
tenths
away.
to steal a position. Even if he closes in by, let's say, a second, he takes 2 positions. He has a chance to finish at least in P4 or even beyond the podium actually if he really closes that gap in. Closes
Yeah.
that gap down.
Yeah, oh, he is down. It's not going to be the easiest of tasks for him, but he is closing in. BK is listening. He's closed in 7 tenths in a matter of 2 corners. BK's turned on his bloody on nitro boost.
Yeah, you might want to check your mic simply. Anyways, yeah, he has closed in a huge amount of gap. Currently, he is on for P4, but if he keeps closing in a bit more, he will be on road for a podium actually.
P4.
So that is an insane amount of motivation for him right now. Can you look at the amount of ERS that BK19 has?
Oh, not a lot.
Ooh, not a lot. But I
But
think,
the
I
guys
think the
ahead of
moment
him
he
don't have
catches,
any either.
I think if he catches up to 1 second between Dark Knight, that will be good enough. But I think now it's already the final lap. Oh no, this is starting the final lap. Sorry.
Yep, this is starting the final lap. Faizan has
Yep.
started the final lap with a quite a margin, we have to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can see Dark Knight getting closer and closer to FIFA Kanak. FIFA Kanak will have a lot of pressure getting past Heisenberg here. Can Heisenberg defend from FIFA Kanak and Dark Knight is the question. As his car once again bottoms out going up Eau Rouge, and that might seal his fate here as FIFA Connect does have the DRS. Both of them are out of DRS, but yeah, that DRS plus Livestream just helped FIFA Connect out there. Heisenberg couldn't really do much out of it, and I'm
Well,
sorry.
Honestly
but-
speaking, he doesn't even have to do much because both the people here have penalties, so there's no point fighting. Because if he does fight, he's at the risk of potentially crashing out and ruining a podium. Sorry, not even a podium, an easy P2.
Yeah, BK19 though, 2 seconds the gap now between him and Dark Knight.
Yeah,
He's doing
it
quite
is
well.
it is getting genuinely very, very close.
Yeah, what
Oh,
is
that's
what did you see?
I thought
I
that could be
didn't-
one more.
Nah. Anyways, what we have seen so far is absolute and sheer dominance by a certain Mercedes driver, Faizan, the guy who's had once again not the best of seasons. He has absolutely nailed his strategy as well as his setup and his pace in Spa here. He's coming into bus stop right now. An amazing race from Faizan, a very well weekend from Faizan. Faizan now comes across the line to win in Spa. A very, very good race from him. Dark Knight moving up a position, at least on track on Heisenberg. BK19 could be on for a podium here. We'll have to watch out. The BK19 has to use up everything that he has. Heisenberg will obviously be on a podium. P2 will BK19 be. P5. Still a very, very good effort nonetheless. Sai Tarun
Yeah.
P3, FIFA Connect P4, Dark Knight P6. Ink will actually be P8 here, Sager P7, King James P9, ABD P10, and Abhi P11.
Yeah, this was a very, very thrilling race. As as we said last week itself, a mixed condition race is like a race like none other, to be honest.
Absolutely, and I believe Faizan was being race engineered by no one other than the Aston Martin boys as well as Heisenberg themselves. So,
Yeah.
what a race! 13 and a half seconds after the penalty on Heisenberg. What a dominant performance! I'm speechless here. I can't even lie.
It was a very, very insane race by Faizan. Absolute dominance.
Oh my god, and yeah, keep your applause going. Heisenberg P2, Sai Tarun, an unexpected podium here as well in P3. Oof. Out of energy and out of breath, but it's all worth it. Driver of the day, Faizan, yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I just saw a clip of BK19 going in the middle of both of them. There's still an insane move by him. It required a lot of bravery as well.
Yeah, and he managed to pull it off, so amazing from him, obviously. As these are your final results, Faizan with the win, Heisenberg P2, Saitan P3, FIFA Connect P4, BK19 P5, Dark Knight P6, Sager P7, Ink P8, King James P9, ABD P10, Abhi P11, Saldisani P12, Arita Kore P13, Merath P14, Strandy P15, and finally Shrikant Das, who I think retired on lap 1.
Yep.
Alright,
now-
let's get our podium sitters in. Meanwhile, Ashray, sum up the race for us, please.
Yeah, it was a very interesting race, a very thrilling race, and nonetheless, we got a good finish. And I would say, like I said, mixed condition race is one of the most challenging forms of race, honestly speaking, because it requires you to make the perfect decisions in the perfect perfect time, which is a very, very small time frame. So yeah, as you can see, ABD did not wait, which dropped him back down to P10. But to be honest, he wasn't really in a position in the first place where he could have benefited a lot.
Absolutely, and we do have our podium setters here with us. So let's move on to the podium interviews, and actually get us started off with Saitar.
Hi Sai, looks like you had an amazing race. You pitted early onto the inters, but somehow even when they are way more worn than others, you held your nerve and pitted just nice for the slicks and then finished off the race with a sweet podium. Is there anything you'd like
Yeah,
to say about it?
yeah. I mean, it was a good race. I think if that safety car wasn't there on lap 2, I think it would have been much better because I pit first on inters, but then later
Ah.
on, me and Ink, pitted, together in for the slicks. But I think he sacrificed his race for me, so I think this podium is for Ink.
Hmm. So yeah, it looks like your teammate was also up there for the podium position, but unfortunately, after he pitted for the slicks, he did make a mistake, which dropped him down to I think P8 or P7.
Yep.
But yeah.
Congrats to Eisenberg and congrats to Faizan also for the victory and P2.
So
Right
now
then.
the interview for P2 is simply.
Heisenberger, yes. Hello, Heizi. That was a very interesting race from you. In the dries, you had quite a bit of space, at least in the first stint, and then it turned into the wets. And yeah, you were up there, but you just seemed to lack a bit of pace. What happened there?
Yeah, that makes sense because I was on a dry setup. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't have any pace after the rain started to come in. Like I was just struggling in the second sector. Like I just was keeping my position because I was just fast on the straights, and then I held on till it dried up, and yeah, thankfully I secured a podium.
Absolutely. Still managed to stay P2 pretty much throughout when it was raining. So yeah, pretty solid performance from you. And anything else you want to add, Ashley?
Yeah, no, it was a very good drive from you to stick to that position for the almost the whole race, and while you're under pressure from like 4 other drivers, so it must be a very nervy race. And but you held it cool, so good job for that.
Yeah, Faizan was just out of our leagues today. He was just in a league of his own, 13 seconds ahead of everyone else. So yeah, congrats to him.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Faizan, and again, congratulations to you, Heisenberg. Moving on to our race winner then, which I'm pretty sure everyone will be happy about. Faizan, what a race from you it has been. Started in a pretty decent position. You didn't have the best of qualifyings, but still decent position at the start. The second we went on to the wets, something just kicked in you. I think your inner Hamilton or whatever kicked in you, because you were just there every lap. You're pulling out at least half a second to a second gap from the other guys, and eventually you managed to pull away enough that you pit, you came out, and then obviously the guys behind you were still fighting, so you just pulled away a lot more, and then at the end, 13.5 second gap, and we're pretty much out of words here. Please sum it up for all of us.
Yep, thanks for that. I think I had a very bad qualifying. The issue was I invalidated all my 3 laps. I should have been like P2 or P3 based on the what lap times I was setting. So I started P14. I actually had a very good start in the dry as well. I think I was up to P5 or 6 by the time we pit in for the inters. And then yeah, the first lap on after safety car on inters was pretty good. But then I realized when I was following Eisenberg that driving this way is going to take me nowhere. So I decided to rest the car and just push as much as possible. And I think that gave me a bit more lap time. I was sliding every corner, so every corner there was a chance of me spinning out or crashing out. But yeah, I managed to do that. And then after pitting, I think they all went into softs. I think they didn't have any pace. And the mediums, I think, were the right choice. And yeah, I pulled away even more.
Fair enough. That was a pretty good race from you nonetheless, and of course a nice little insight info there. Once again, congratulations Faizan, as well as the other podium setters as well on the podium, and of course Faizan for the win. Alright then, that is it for Tier 2, although fear not, Tier 1 is coming soon, 8 p.m, only a few hours away. Again, obviously we'll be at Spa, so hopefully closer racing there. Me and Ashray, well, Ashray won't be there, but I will be driving, so will Assassin. But yeah, we will be presenting hopefully quite a good race for you guys. Do make sure to follow us on all of our social media. They are on your screen, as well as the link is put in the description. If you do want to join a Discord server to race with us, or if you're just a casual motorsport fan, we welcome all of them. Of course, you have to be Indian, that is. The link is on your screen, as well as, again, in the description. So do make sure to join up. And that is it from me, Ashray, and Assassin this afternoon. We'll catch you guys in the evening. Make sure to stay hydrated, obviously. And yeah, bye-bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Mama,
Is
can
that
I
no
have